Hello and welcome to Terrorform Podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Kristen.
This is Donnie.
And I'm Erin. And we're here to make the world a creepier place.
All right. You guys may have noticed something, but we did a little rearranging of the podcast studio.
Just a little.
Just a little. Took all day. Looks nice though, right?
Yeah.
I like it.
It's pretty cool.
And we hung up the squares to help with the echo.
Acoustic
Or to
panels.
hopefully help with the echo.
Hopefully. It's not as many as we probably need, but...
That and decorations.
Yeah, we got some decorations up. We have a Texas Chainsaw Massacre signed, "Hey, Aaron, you like head cheese?"
I've never had it, so I don't know.
It's all right.
It's all right. Got our woman in white.
A woman in white, La Llorona, behind her.
Yeah, La Llorona.
You can see our Scream picture, which was a drawing sent to us
Fan.
by a...
Artwork-ish.
And
and
then you might see the Junji Ito poster in the corner. But that's been there.
very nice. So, came around the table, and it's my turn again. Very nervous. But I have a story for you guys, and it's going to lead us into a discussion that I think is pretty interesting. Okay, so let's start with the story, which is a viewer submission. So, viewer submission as the main story. That's how strong the story was. So here we go. It's the middle of the night. I'm dead asleep. I wake up to my little brother hysterically laughing. I sit up and I open my eyes, and he's sitting upright, pointing toward the bookshelf on the other side of the room, laughing hysterically. I think that he's like possessed or something, so I jump out of the bed and I shout, "What are you doing? What the hell are you doing?" He sounds horrified and says, "I just saw a ghost." I say, "Why are you laughing?" And he says, "I heard that if you show a ghost that you're not scared, then they'll fly away." So he started laughing and pointing, hoping he'd make it leave, but it wasn't leaving. We end up running out of the room and sleeping in another room that night. From the little brother's perspective, here's his side. He wakes up to a humanoid-looking man standing in his room, skin very pale and glistening where he could see it even in the dark, like it was lighting up.
Ew, like he was sweaty.
And floating. It was floating next to the top of this bookshelf that was in this room that him and his brother slept in. So he sees it, it's levitating, and it's staring down at him. He freaks out. He remembers about this thing that he had heard about. If you show them you're not scared, they'll leave you alone. So he starts nervously laughing and pointing. His brother wakes up and asks him what's wrong, and he tells him, and they run into the other room to sleep. From both of their perspectives, the next morning, they wake up, they go back into the room they were originally sleeping in, and in the dust on the top shelf of the bookshelf, there is a handprint. It's exactly where he saw the creature levitating, and it's a spot where neither of them, being little kids, could even reach. They just see this handprint up there. So that's the story.
Ooh, I'd be so mad if like my sibling just woke up and was like laughing and pointing.
Oh, I know. So creepy, too.
And then for them to say there's a ghost in the corner, oh my god.
Oh, God. To see this
I'm trying to show some dominance, too.
Yeah.
You look nasty.
One question.
Yes.
If they're too small to reach the top, how could they see it?
I was about to ask that.
Probably standing on a bed or something, I would imagine.
Or a chair.
Or
but
you can see stuff you can't reach. I can't reach
That's
that top
true.
corner, and I can see it.
Yeah, but if it's on the top, you wouldn't be able to see
No,
it.
I think just at the top of the bookshelf. As if it
necessarily
was
like the
probably,
top.
yeah, not like top. Like I think it's like a side, like it's leaning or it's touching up there,
It's got
something
its
like
hand
that.
like down.
Right.
I was thinking that too, but I was like, should I bring that up?
Yeah. But just a little surprise to throw in. I didn't want to tell you guys that this is a submission from Prophet Giratina because I wanted you to listen to the story. It's 100% true because remember his little brother is actually the one who believes in everything and that reached out to us about the alien stuff and was like, yeah, my brother's a troll and all this stuff. But he reached out to me, Prophet Giratina, told me the story, and he was like, and I promise you, he said, I know you think that I'm trolling constantly. I don't troll all the time. He's like, reach out to my brother and ask him without it. And I didn't even tell him, like, just, hey, what's the story with the bookshelf and the thing? And I got the story from him. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty spooky. It was almost like a
pretty
Reddit
spooky.
post or something.
Yeah.
Something that you hear
Yeah.
on those YouTube videos.
Yep. And so this rabbit hole that it sent me down was what stuck out to me, really, besides it just being really creepy, is the laughing to try to get it to leave. So I'm wondering, how do you ward off spirits? And I think that it'd be good to research this and to tell our viewers who could possibly be suffering right now. And even this could be someone's first time watching Terrorform podcast, because if we titled this episode, How to Ward Off Spirits, they could be desperately searching for a way to do this. And hopefully this could help them. So there's a couple different things I'm going to read here. I'll link all the articles in the description that I went off of, but we are going to go back and forth in between different types of hauntings, because that is something you also have to take into consideration. And in between the types of hauntings, I'm going to go over how to ward off these certain spirits, and we'll pause and we'll talk and we'll get thoughts and stuff in between all of this, okay? So the first thing I did was I messaged a friend of mine who is very into this type of stuff, and I just asked him outright, hey, how do you get rid of spirits in your house? And this is what he said. He said, depends on how you see the negativity. Okay, that's going to be something that comes up a lot, is using the phrase negativity. Because a lot of people see spirits and stuff like that as simply a negative energy.
Yeah.
He says some people see it as spirits or a sort of energy that stained a certain area, item, or person. When it comes to what people might think are ghosts, I think that's a whole different area. Of course, you have religion to drive it away. That's how most people do it these days. But then you also have the use of herbs and incense, which is mostly what I am familiar with because of my culture. I'm sure you can look into the Celtic culture and find even more ways of warding them away. Many different cultures used many different remedies before the Abrahamic religions came in, which is why now most people use those religious remedies. But then you have the few that use older natural practices. And then he linked me to some articles about stuff like smudging that started with like Native American culture and stuff like that. And I use a couple of those lines from the articles in here. So, but to start out, we're going to go into the first type of haunting, which is called
Residual.
Residual.
Oh, yeah.
I always want to say redual, and I'm consistent. I promise you, I'm
Residual.
consistently going to get this wrong reading this, and Kristen's going to have to correct me. Residual?
Residual.
Yes.
Residual haunting activity is the first type of haunt. A residual residual haunting activity can occur when something traumatic or stressful occurs, such as a murder or a rape.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Considering, like, I know what this type of haunting is. Oh, my God.
Ooh, all right.
That sucks.
We're going to get into that because that's a little, if we can, that's a little. Negative energy is literally blasted into the atmosphere, causing the atmosphere to imprint or record the events. Kind of like she was saying, the Stonewall theory.
Yeah.
Stone tape theory.
Stone tape
Yeah.
theory.
Earlier, I was like, but I didn't know when a good time to butt in would
Yeah.
be, so I've been waiting.
Yeah. Okay.
And it exactly said that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, there goes my chance.
Like a recording tape, it will play the events over and over again. The entities involved in this residual haunting activity are unaware of their surroundings. This is not an intelligent haunting, which we'll get into later. There is no interaction between you and the entity. Residual haunting activity can also be caused by positive energy blasted into the atmosphere.
Okay, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Let's hope for the positive
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Many times you've heard ghost stories where people can hear the sounds of a party. They hear music or singing, dancing, laughter, and when they enter the room where they hear the party, no one is there. Residual haunting activity can be the specters of living beings, which is really weird because it's like someone can murder someone and then a part of them is there killing that person over and over, even though they're
Yeah.
still alive.
So in that case, I guess it kind of gives me hope in that it's just a recording and not actually your own
Not actually
spirit.
Yeah, that's what I
stuck
think
there.
of too.
Yeah, so it's just like basically a recording of it over
Of
and
the
over,
past.
and like no one is actually stuck there.
But
And
Yeah,
that's
so
just
like
the
imagine-
residual haunting.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like the emotion.
Yeah, that's just that.
that.
There's oh wait.
Oh,
Just
maybe it is
like-
a part of you that's stuck there.
There's
Yeah, because wouldn't that suck being like a ghost and you're murdered,
We
but
haven't got
every
that
day
far
you're
yet,
getting
Aaron.
murdered again and again and
Yeah.
again.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
with-
in that aspect, yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like torture, but if
Yeah.
it's just like a recording, then your spirit is able to leave and find peace.
Yeah, it's just
Right.
the past is
I
playing
guess
back.
it depends because sometimes you have to set that spirit free, whether it's finding something for them and burying it. So it could also have ties to them, like they're stuck there in that
But then-
residual haunting,
Okay, I guess so.
or at least that location. And with the residual aspect of it, they might be having to watch a replay of it from the outside.
Oh god dang. Boy tripping over
No, you're gonna do that every time your voice cracks now.
Yes.
So,
Freaking
did you have something you were gonna
No, I was just thinking
Okay.
like, if you're a murder victim or you're raped, just over and over and over again, that would just
Horrible.
suck.
That would be horrible. So hopefully, yeah, it's like the
Just a recording and not
Right.
actually
Yeah.
any piece of you
Right.
left there. Just like, the
It's just-
emotional imprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so much energy going into that moment that it just kind of like imprinted on the earth.
yeah.
It's not the soul.
So, jumping to a way to get rid of spirits, I feel like this one could be used especially for residual hauntings, though it can be used for multiple different types. And we're going to revisit this a lot because this is like everywhere. But it's saging, the whole
Yeah.
burning incense and stuff like that. I have a little clip from an article from Vogue about how to sage.
Vogue.
trendy topic.
It says, learn the science behind the smoke. Simply put, sage clears bacteria in the air. Sage smoke offers rapid delivery to the brain and efficient absorption to the body. Scientists have observed that sage can clear up to 94% of airborne bacteria
What?
in a space and disinfect the air.
So it does have some actual like
Yeah, I
Cleaning
guess. I
properties.
figured it was kind of like
The government
unhealthy because
doesn't
it's like
want you to know
smoke.
that.
They don't want you to
Pharma
know.
does not want you to
Big
know.
Pharma does not want you to know. Take this pill here, guy.
Your insurance got you covered.
It'll help you stop seeing them ghosts.
When sage is burned, it releases negative ions, which is linked to putting people into a positive mood. The Latin word for sage is salvia, which stems from the word heal.
Uh-oh.
Not that kind of.
So, like, that's what's making people see ghosts.
Yeah. So let's clarify. There's one type of salvia that'll make you see ghosts, and there's another type that'll take them away. Other qualities believed to be associated with sage burned are giving wisdom, clarity, and increasing spiritual awareness. A little history about burning sage. Burning sage is one of the oldest and purest methods of cleansing a person, group of people, or space, and of getting rid of unwanted spirits. The practice dates back to prehistoric times and has been documented as having been used in every corner of the world by our ancestors. That's the most
Okay.
interesting thing to
it's
me.
like the most
is
popular
interesting.
herb.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've also heard like using sage is starting to become really controversial
Really?
because it's like using Native American practices.
Right.
But that's like specifically white sage.
It's white sage,
right?
yeah. I think it's a certain type. And then like the overproduction of it. Because I think like, those retail stores like Urban Outfitters or whatever are starting to sell it. So it's almost like
Trendy topic.
yeah, it's almost like exploiting. So there's too much of a demand that
Yeah.
people are having a hard time keeping up with it. And then the fact that it's for like native ritual purposes.
I guess that would explain why the article I was reading that my friend sent me was saying if you're going to sage, to make sure you look into the type that you're buying. So basically, you don't want to buy the mass-produced stuff. Like, you want to find, like, good stuff.
That, or you just buy straight from, like, a reservation.
Right. And then
Straight from the source
if you feel like
farmer's
you're...
Yeah.
I guess if you feel like you're appropriating or something like that, you can always do it like in the way that your culture would do it, or your because I mean the Catholic Church, Eastern Orthodox, all these different religions and cultures. I don't know where it actually started. It probably would have started with the Native Americans, honestly, but I don't know. I'm too stupid. Let us know, viewers.
Yeah, who knows? But grew up Catholic. That they use incense a lot. And it's almost like smudging because, they like swing it around and
And like
throughout
the
whole
purpose
church.
is to like put you in a mindset or like to
Calming.
change the atmosphere to put you like in heaven or basically like, to get you there.
Yeah, and they wouldn't.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like literally everyone says that like in their own way, like that it does that for you. Science says it according to Vogue.
Well, also like with the Catholic Church, they didn't do it during like every mass. It was only like certain occasions. So maybe I don't remember. I haven't been in church in so long.
Yeah.
I can't remember those occasions.
They do incense every mass. I thought like every morning they have I don't know if maybe they use different incense for different occasions though maybe.
I don't know. I went to church on Saturdays in the afternoon, so I wouldn't know.
The next haunting is a poltergeist activity. Poltergeist is from a German word meaning noisy spirits. Reports of poltergeist date back to ancient Rome times. The activity that takes place will start off with knocks and bangs, furniture starting to move around by itself. Then the activity, y'all start knocking over there. Did you get scared?
We did hear knocking in the garage.
We heard knocking today when me and Chris were on the couch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot y'all said
I
that.
didn't realize that was today.
See, and that's the whole thing with the car theory. It sounded wooden in nature.
Yeah. And
I didn't see any lumber out on the road.
Wasn't it 3 knocks too? Doom, doom, doom.
Yeah, it was something
We'll
like that.
Pretty much,
We're going to get into that. That's a specific
I'd
thing.
have to
That's not a
rewatch it to
good
make
sign.
sure, but
Yeah,
I think it was.
3 is not a good number.
It's not good. It's not good.
Mocking of the Trinity.
Yep, that's one of the things. That's one of them.
I told you I watched a lot of Ghost Adventures.
Then the activity will become more intense, manifesting itself through voices and even the appearance of full apparitions. Furniture may slide across the room and beds may shake.
Boy, you gonna scratch the floor.
Many shows are based on this type of haunting because it tends to be the most terrifying and rarest type of haunting that occurs. Most of the time, in the case of a poltergeist, the haunting circles around a female in her teen years.
Oh my god. It explains everything.
Were you not a teenage female in your haunted house, Kristen?
I sure
There were
was.
several.
It started when puberty started, to be honest.
Lines up. Some of these cases seem to be caused by the female unknowingly controlling the energy around herself.
The female.
Yeah, the female.
Sounds like some sort of like.
Now we get closer
And
to
I'm
the
in
female.
my early 20s, and I got
natural-
my chicken tender moving on me.
It's because you listen to rock music. Anyways.
Yeah, I partake in rituals and listen to metal rock music.
Now we're gonna have to cut that.
I don't care. You can leave it in.
The haunting is hard to classify due to certain situations. No two are ever really the same because they do sometimes happen around people that are stable and in the right mind space. Most of the time, the activity doesn't happen unless that certain person is present. Usually, the activity appears to stop when that person leaves the home. The majority of the time, poltergeists are experienced by several people, But again, they seem to center around one certain person. This person may be highly stressed as of late. Forget about it. This person.
Oh, I was like, what was that?
Yeah. This person may be highly stressed as of late, or maybe this person has gone through some type of extreme emotional situation. If this is the case, see that the individual involved gets some medical care, and soon afterwards, the poltergeist will subside, much like happened in your case. When it is not the teenager that is manifesting activity, there are usually several spirits in the area. The spirits appear to pull their energy together in order to become strong enough to move larger objects and make more noises. In order to remedy the situation, you need to find the root of their anger so that they can pass over and leave you in peace. On most poltergeist cases, they will disappear without any warning, just as they appeared. Certain times it may stop within a few days, other times it may take years. Understanding why it was there in the first place helps you to understand how to keep it from ever coming back again. Knowledge is the key in protecting yourself.
Interesting. Kind of scary.
Yeah, I would hate a poltergeist, boy.
Sounds like it'll sort itself out on its own.
A lot of the times, I guess it just depends on the
Sounds like
severity.
an emo ghost.
Elder emo.
Elder emo. Ancient emo.
Ancient emo.
There's an article about how to get rid of a pesky poltergeist from ranker.com. I'm not going to go over all the steps. I'm just going to pick and choose some. But again, the articles will be linked for everyone. One of the things they say is consult the Bible. In the right hands, the power of the Bible can supposedly drive out bad spirits or demons, including poltergeist.
The power of Christ compels you.
Classic. Yeah. There are 2 ways to try this method. The first is to call a religious official who can exorcise your house, though they may be hard to find, because a lot of those priests are like, that crap ain't real, man.
Yeah.
But
Isn't that your whole thing?
The second is to take matters into your own hands by picking up a Bible yourself. You must walk through the afflicted portions of your home, reading passages from the Bible meant to drive out evil. If you are very pious, this might have an immediate and lasting effect. One particular prayer that is said to help is St. Michael's prayer. St. Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly host, thrust into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who prowl through the world seeking the ruin of souls. Amen.
Let that country twang out.
Come on now, Jesus Christ, man. Help us out, man. My headphones
We're
cut out for a
gonna
second.
whip that devil out right at you.
Yeah.
Vibrations.
My bad. Step 2, or one other step you can do, cleanse your home using sage. Like I said, again, it always goes back to sage. Certain rituals may help drive out a poltergeist. One such ritual of cleansing comes from the Native Americans, and it is known as smudging. Mm-hmm. It involves using smudge sticks, tightly bound bundles of sage that you light on fire and burn slowly. Wafting the smoke through your home is said to remove negativity and malicious forces. Of course, there's more to this than just walking. Smudging rituals are a sacred purification practice, and you must be reverent while doing them. There are tutorials available online that you may want to consult. In some cases, you may wish to recite the following as you do a sweep of your home. From the element of fire comes this smoke, which is air. From the element of earth grows this plant, which is water. I call upon the elements and the blessings of spirit to please cleanse this place for the good of all.
I think you're also supposed to open your windows too, which is an important part,
yes.
Which they seem to have left out.
No,
got that bug in the gas chamber. You
go
up in the corner.
Yeah, no, there
can't escape.
In one of the articles.
And then when the smoke clears, you're like peeling off the wall. Trying to gasp it for air.
In one of the articles that I was sent, it does explain to do. There's a, like I said, you look it up before you do it, but we don't have time to get into all of it. But yes, open them windows now. Another thing you can do with
I can't look at him now.
another thing you can do is hang crosses in your house.
Cliche.
Sometimes, just the presence of holy items in your house may be enough to ward off a poltergeist. Evil spirits are supposedly unable to touch sacred items and can be warded away from rooms if a cross is hung there. You can hang crosses in your windows or on your walls until the sweat...
Oh, Josh!
or even wear them yourself. The mere presence of a holy symbol could be enough to send a ghost packing. You may also wish to consider non-Christian holy symbols and relics. Pick something that you strongly believe in because the strength of your faith and conviction can help those items work better. The next thing I feel like Kristen would be very interested in, it says don't speak about the spirit. That's what your mama say.
Mamas be knowing.
Mama always right.
I was thinking
That was my nana.
your nano too.
Yeah.
Y'all's nano.
Though they can be traumatic, poltergeist infestations are usually fairly short-lived. Some manifestations last a few days or weeks, and they rarely go on for longer than a few months. You can potentially speed this process up by ignoring the spirit entirely. Poltergeists are generally mischievous spirits that feed off of attention, so denying them that attention encourages them to move on to a new target. If you know their name, don't speak it. Don't react to noises or movements, and shrug off any funny feelings that you might have. If you have performed an exorcism...
Any funny feelings?
Any funny feelings like fear.
Like, you know, that uneasy
Okay.
feeling when, like, no one's around.
Yeah.
Goosebumps, hair raising up
Yeah,
on the
gotcha.
back of your
Yeah.
neck.
If you have performed an exorcism or cleansing ritual, don't speak about the spirit at all while in your home. Your feelings of negativity and acknowledgement might bring the poltergeist back in.
So I wonder if my mom, like, just instinctively knew
Said
that.
to ignore it, or if it was something
or if it was
she
something like she had
had
learned.
heard,
Yeah.
like passed down.
Hit us up, let us know.
Let her know, little put.
Her nickname is Puddin' for those of you who are not understanding.
Let her know, put. Not just her nickname, man. That's like everyone calls her that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's
I didn't even know
basically
her
her
real
birthday.
I didn't
name
either
until,
for the
like,
longest.
A couple years
Same.
ago.
For real?
A couple
Yeah.
years ago.
Well, not a
Yeah.
couple, but like
Yeah.
6
The first
to
I
10.
found out
Yeah.
was when we were at the beach.
Not necessarily.
Oh, really?
No, not 10. Yeah, it might have been around that
You
time.
might have found out the same time Aaron did.
Probably.
Yeah, because I think your parents made reservations and they tried calling your mom, and then it was under her name. And I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, I was like, what is that?
Yeah, I was
Who
like,
is
what
that?
is that?
Yeah. I asked you one time, like, we were dating for years, or we may have even been married. I don't remember, but I was like, hey, is your mom's name actually Puddin'? You were like, no.
I never hear her first name
Yeah.
unless
Yeah.
it's like she's saying for like a reservation.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's probably the only time I've ever heard it. It's like when it's actually like business related. I
Yeah.
guess you could say we got pudding, we got crusty croissant.
Crusty croissant. Sheesh. Yeah, your feelings of negativity and acknowledgement might bring the poltergeist back in. It always circles back to negativity, which we get into a lot
Yeah.
here. It's like it seems they latch on to any negativity in your life. So, another thing you can do, shout out to Supernatural, sprinkle salt around the room.
Oh, yeah.
Various religions regard salt as a spiritually strong substance that can offer protection from evil. Line entry points in your home with salt and sprinkle it liberally around any rooms where you've had troublesome ghostly activity. This method is best used in conjunction with other techniques because salt can easily be swept or blown away, and it only protects rather than actively driving spirits out. Another thing you can do is study up on geomancy. I think that's pronounced that way.
Is that with like crystals?
It's spelt geomancy. It's
Geomancy?
geomancy.
Geomancy, geomancy, one of those two.
It is.
Geography.
It's all about bringing positivity It's basically, it says it's the paranormal study of the Earth's energies. Some geomancers believe that poltergeist activity can actually be attributed to disruptions of the Earth's energies. Harmony in your home might be restored by rearranging your furniture or by attuning yourself to the natural world.
Feng shui. Is that-
Basically,
Yeah,
I knew there was
feng shui.
another word for it. I couldn't think of it.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but
I think it is.
Yeah.
I've always heard
Feng
it as
shui.
feng
Yeah.
shui.
Yeah, it even says an expert in this field might be able to offer suggestions on how to bring positivity back to your home. And there's like all the feng shui like people you can bring in. So interesting. Another thing is get rid of
It's
cursed
getting hot in
objects.
here.
Another thing is get rid of cursed objects, which we've brought up before. Getting rid of cursed objects. We were like, is there something cursed in Kristen's haunted house?
If anybody's getting rid of, I will be willing to intercept those packages.
Donnie hated the idea of this episode because he doesn't want to ward off spirits. He wants to invite them in. So send them his way. If they say, I will only leave if you tell me where I can go. Say send them to Donnie of
but
Terrorform
don't bring
Podcast.
them in this house. Keep
Send
them
it
to
to me.
your own
Or
house.
to me.
You're
I don't wanna
screwed.
deal
I'm
with
sorry.
it.
You're with them. I'm sorry.
Send it to me.
Yeah. And
but-
then he'll realize that he doesn't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Once you get
It's
it.
fine because I lag.
Oh my gosh.
They won't have a chance.
One part of
But
this
stupid.
one part of this that was interesting though of the getting rid of haunted objects that is kind of scary. It says be aware that sometimes destroying a haunted object can make a spirit angry or violent.
So just send them to me.
There are no recorded cases of poltergeist killing people, but injuries have occurred.
Yeah, I got a scratch recently from a ghost.
You got scratched? No.
That was my cat.
About to say, dang, freaking first Donnie's daddy's booty. Now you.
Which we need to cover that in an episode.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah,
haven't
we
released
will.
anything.
Yeah, we will.
I will say I have woken up with bruises. Random bruises. Always
Really?
find bruises.
Might have a poltergeist on you. You're a chicken tender poltergeist.
Yeah, I
girl.
know. It
Donnie
follows me
looking a little
home.
sus over there.
Beat me up in my
Be
sleep.
smacking around.
Girl
but-
fighting demons.
Yeah, I fight demons in my sleep.
Speaking of demons, the next haunting is demonic activity. Very good, guys. Did you know what was coming?
No.
They really didn't, which is what makes it nice. It was a nice segue.
We're smooth.
Demonic activity. Demons are entities that never had a mortal human form. Their origins, this is interesting, are extraterrestrial. Why? Well-
Not from Earth.
Exactly. If you believe that God and his angels are from the heavens, that would make them extraterrestrial.
Oh my god, it's all aliens all along.
If Satan and 1/3 of the angels rebelled against God's kingdom, then Satan and 1/3 of the angels that became demons are extraterrestrial. That is why they never had mortal human form. And this was pretty interesting too, even though I don't fully understand it because I'm not smart.
Okay.
Einstein said that E equals mc squared,
Yep.
meaning energy can be converted into matter and matter into energy. Demons are pure energy entities. They are let me just stop there. Demons are pure energy entities. So energy can be converted into matter and matter into energy. I guess what they're getting at is that since demons are only energy, they can still like in Ghost in that matter could make physical things happen like scientifically. Is that what it's getting at?
I guess so. Or like if energy behaves in a certain way or reacts in a certain way, it can turn into a physical form of matter.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah. But it's okay. Maybe off
So that's why they
topic a
can
little bit.
manifest. Okay.
But, you know, y'all know Corey Taylor. For those of you that don't know Corey Taylor, he's the dude from Slipknot, the frontman from Slipknot and Stone Sour. And he's alive.
No, Rip Slipknot.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's like, oh my
They
god.
went zoom.
Because Joey Jordison died. So he's like,
Well, no, just ever since Corey Taylor moved on with his independent
oh my gosh.
soundboarding
Well,
crap,
anyways,
it's just
off.
we forgot all about it.
Okay, anyways, no. They're still touring as Slipknot.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Oh god.
It's
Okay,
like
anyways.
corn without the heroin.
Oh,
Oh.
my God. Okay, Aaron, what are you getting at? Like,
okay.
what were you talking about here?
So Corey Taylor's really into ghosts, and he has like 2 ghost story books. I have them. I haven't read them yet, but he believes in ghosts. Like, he heavily believes in ghosts, I guess you could say. And he says that ghosts exist because it's like a form of energy. So, and we're like made of energy. So energy can't be created nor destroyed. So when we die, the energy has to continue on.
So it, like, transfers.
Yeah, into a different
Interesting.
form of energy, I guess.
Yeah.
Different dimension.
Maybe so.
Maybe so.
So we're, like, hovering between the 2 dimensions when we die.
I guess so, yeah.
I never thought that on this podcast we would say E equals MC squared and be able to actually relate that not only to Ghost but to Slipknot and have it's a whole thing.
I met him. I was autograph.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Nice. You met the freaking Texas Chainsaw Massacre
I
people.
met a lot
You
of
met Corey
people.
Taylor,
Yeah, I met Papa Roach,
Papa Roach.
the dude from the Warriors. I met one of the Michael Myers.
Dang it.
Yeah, a lot of autographs. Michael
Nice.
Beck from Warriors, yeah.
I was going to go meet the Screamcast at the Dallas
Frightmare.
Frightmare.
That's
but
where I met all these other people.
nice.
I know. I forgot Frightmare was going on, so I checked it out. I was like, dang, that's too soon to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, they got a lot of good people there, though.
Yeah.
They even got the grandpa this year from that Texas Chainsaw.
Oh, really?
I was like, I figured that fool be dead.
Yeah.
Seriously, what the
I mean,
heck?
it was prosthetics.
It was definitely prosthetics, but still.
Yeah.
So now he looks like...
He ain't
He
got
actually
nothing
looked pretty
on.
decent from like the cover of him. Yeah, it was probably like a teenager.
Yeah.
Just put-
Yeah, just all the prosthetics
Yeah.
on top of them. That's funny.
But anyways, back to the story.
Yeah, so so I thought that was interesting, but further going into the demons thing more, it says they're described in 3 different ways. So this is how you can know it's possibly a demon. Number 1, as angelic, a being of beauty that would manipulate the person to commit something that is sinful or out of the ordinary. Number 2, horrific and evil looking. Some people claim they have seen demons that are incredibly hideous to look at. I believe demons do this for a scare effect. They know what we fear, and this is not their true appearance. Number 3, black mist, black fog, black shadow, black smoke. Most demonic hauntings, the occupants claim to be followed by black mist or black fog. They are usually very easy to identify as long as they are not hiding. When it is a demonic haunting, you typically notice a revolting stench similar to rotted flesh or sulfuric acid. They often let loose a growl that sounds like it is coming from everywhere at once. They like to make contact by pushing, shoving, hitting, and even scratching.
So
Your daddy.
He was
maybe
scratched by a demon.
Annie heard the growl and was pushed.
It was a freaking demon.
Shoved.
And you had a thing too, right? And
Yeah,
it was
where it
about
touched
Andy's, that, and also Andy's house. Y'all said y'all smelled something, right?
All right, so I'm not 100% sure.
Was
I
that
should
with my
check.
mom?
Yes, was
Yeah,
it
she
Andy's
was
house?
just-
Oh,
the
yeah.
one over by the cemetery with the yellow fever graves. That house.
Oh,
It was
okay, it's
that
the one behind the high school. That's
Yeah.
the house it was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they were walking through.
She just told us this story
Yeah.
like a week or 2
Yeah,
ago.
so Andy was showing my mom and Donnie's mom her house, and they were walking through, and then all of a sudden they smelled this really foul odor, and everyone got an uneasy feeling, but they kind of tried to play it off.
Well, I think my mom too said she thought she felt something like
Grab her ankle or something,
try
right?
to trip her or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So Donnie's
Demons.
mom, she didn't say it at the moment, but she felt something grab her ankle. And then my mom made a joke saying, "Ooh, girl, what did you eat for lunch?" Like, and then so like they finished the walkthrough and they got out, and then my mom and Donnie's mom left together, and she said she didn't want to say anything, but they both got a super uneasy feeling at that moment, like something was in the house.
It's in the house. Something is in the house. I'm quoting Donnie from like episode 3 or something. I don't remember. That's so creepy. It was demons, according to this. If you look for the signs to know what kind of haunting it is.
Maybe, yeah, maybe so.
Maybe.
That's freaking
Isn't
scary.
that where you saw the boys?
No,
boys?
No, that was the trailer house, which is off.
Terror.
Yeah,
So it's
off a different road,
Way
farther out.
further out. towards
Okay.
B way.
We don't know. We're not in the
Out
family.
west.
Yeah, I know.
Just
West.
piece stuff
I
together.
didn't know if there was
and-
multiple houses.
Yeah,
There's lots.
there's lots.
We move around.
We're
Bunch of
nomads.
nomads. Ah, dang.
So about the stank, it says the whole air in the affected
Gotta
area.
clean that booty crack.
Dang, demons, y'all don't wipe, man. What's going on?
Need some Old Spice.
Wipe that tail, man.
Not sponsored.
Yeah, that's fun.
The whole air in the affected area will feel thick. Ew.
Humid.
The whole air in the
Beef
affected
tacos.
the whole air in the affected. Man, I feel like a demon's in here. This air is thicker. Oh my God. Whole air in the affected area will feel thick like fog, and the temperature will drastically change, typically becoming warmer.
Oh,
You always hear about
So
it
with
being
ghosts,
cold.
it's
hot as
Cold.
hell.
And with
But
demons,
it's
hot.
It's hot as hell. That's the way to remember. Is it hot as hell? It's a demon. Is it cold as ice? It's a ghost, man.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. We gives out tips here.
Yeah.
These creatures are very strong, unlike human spirits, and they don't mind showing it. There have been cases where people have been There are cases where people have been thrown through the air and even attacked. Apparently, their main goal is to break down a person's free will in order to make way for possession. This can take days, months, or years, but time is of no concern to them. They have a hatred for mankind that dates back to the days of God and Lucifer. They have lived for millennia and will be here long after we are gone. So you must understand that though you may be able to get these creatures to leave a dwelling with religious provocation, you will never destroy them. They could go on to the next place down the road if they choose, but most likely they won't because distance is not an issue for these creatures. They can go from Maine to California on a thought. Demons are capable on a thought. They be
was
riding
thinking-
them thoughts by.
Kind of thinking that too.
We can't take
gonna
nothing
say-
serious.
I know. We're talking about demons and we're still making jokes.
I was gonna say my dad did say that the trailer when they sold that trailer house.
I was banging a thought.
No, the guy got dragged out of bed to the front door
Oh yeah, I remember you saying
until
that.
Taco came through with holy water and it left.
Oh, it was 100% a demon. It was a demon.
Yeah.
Dang.
I've learned that from Phasmophobia.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Sponsor.
Sorry, audio listeners.
Yeah.
Demons
Wait.
are capable.
We didn't do anything visually.
Earlier,
I guess. Yeah.
I gave a dramatic representation of a ghost being smudged without an open window.
Oh. Yeah.
That was boy
Lagging.
lagging.
He just now realized he forgot to say sorry, audio listeners. You guys have just witnessed Donnie lagging in real time.
Yeah. He's not lying. Okay. Continue. Being thrown.
Demons are capable of changing form right in front of you from a human form to an inhuman form. They are neither male nor female, but can change to meet their needs. People mostly see demons as black masses standing in doorways or near rooms. Sometimes they are called shadow devils.
Kristen did see the shadow in the reflection of the TV. Steve, maybe
Oh.
a demon.
That's horrifying. That
I only
story
saw
is
it
so
once.
scary.
I have not seen anything since. It is gone. Don't talk about it. We're not bringing
We're
it
not
into the-
acknowledging it.
Steve.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. All right. So, since we talked about a very religious thing, demon, I figured we would get into, and we've been bringing up incense. I looked up why do priests use incense, and got this from a Catholic website here. It says, incense is an aromatic substance, which is the resin from certain trees. When burned over charcoal, the incense produces a sweet-smelling aroma. To make the smoke thicker and to enhance the fragrance, sometimes other perfumes are blended with the incense. The use of incense in the ancient world was common, especially in religious rites where it was used to keep demons away. Herodotus, I definitely butchered that name. Herodotus, he's from
Herodotus.
Herodotus is from 500 BC. He's a Greek historian. Recorded that it was popular among the Assyrians, Babylonians, and Egyptians, like Donnie was saying earlier. In Judaism, incense was included in the Thanksgiving offerings of oil, grain, fruits, and wine, according to Numbers chapter 7:13 through 17. The Lord instructed Moses to build a golden altar for the use of burning incense in Exodus chapter 30, which was placed in front of the veil to the entrance of the meeting tent where the Ark of the Covenant was kept. We do not know exactly when the use of incense was introduced into our mass or liturgical rites. At the time of the early church, the Jews continued to use incense in their own temple rituals, so it would be safe to conclude that the Christians would have adapted its usage for their own rituals. So again, everyone uses freaking incense.
I did
I
read
use
that
incense.
the Native Americans were the first to document the use in their rituals, so maybe that's where people get it from, but it's probably been around forever. Like,
Yeah. Stole
whenever
their land, stole
Pangea
their
was
incense.
everything, everybody was indigenous back then,
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
it was different.
And don't a lot of
cultures,
like
indigenous
Asian cultures
etc.
use incense? Like it's huge over there too.
We gotta get
Buddhism
some
and
incense
stuff.
up in here.
I got
To change
incense.
the
We got a lot of
atmosphere, put
incense
you in a
at the
holy
house.
space.
Puts you in a holy space, change the atmosphere, puts you in a good mood according to science, drives out actual bacteria in the air, drives
got
out
that.
demons and all kinds of
Dragon's
stuff.
blood incense. Oh, it
Sheesh.
smells so good.
I mean, whatever they use for Catholic Mass, I love it.
Yeah.
Is it like frankincense or something?
It probably is. It's like a.
Frankincense
strong.
and
That's
myrrh.
what they brought to Jesus when he was born. Frankincense and myrrh, man.
They got the mix.
That holy mix.
I know with our incense in church, you could see like the fruits or whatever. It looked like little citrus things all dried up.
Oh yeah, you were altar girl, weren't you?
Yes, I was, unfortunately.
An altar child.
Oh gosh.
I was
Don't want to
unfortunate.
talk about that.
Girl.
I did not like doing that.
The next kind of
And,
haunting.
Hold the book up to my chest so the priest could read it off me.
I bet that thing was heavy.
Yeah,
man.
I was like shaking.
He was a freaking music
and
stand,
I'm like
boy.
looking down because I don't want to look up at him.
Yeah, really.
He would have liked that.
My sad beady eyes.
The next type of haunting is intelligent activity.
Ooh, that's the worst kind.
This is what you would
best.
think of as an actual ghost.
Ghost.
If it's a nice one, it could be.
Yeah.
That's true.
It could
Not
do the
the
dishes
Demons
for
would
you.
probably be the worst.
Yeah,
It has-
honestly.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It could dust. It could do the dishes. It could.
Yeah, it could be nice. I mean, the best one's probably the residual because it could
It
just be
can't
a
affect
scene.
you,
Yeah,
it's
it
just
just
gonna
doesn't
do its own
interact
thing.
with you. But an intelligent activity, for those of you who don't know, it says, back to Einstein's theory, as matter beings, we are all energy beings on the quantum level. We are made up of atoms and neutrons. As matter/energy beings, we have intelligence. While we live, we have an energy aura that surrounds our living bodies. This aura is created by millions of electrical currents that are created through our bodies. Our brains create brain waves, a form of pure energy that is transmitting our thoughts, what we see, what we feel, etc. And when our mortal form dies, the aura that constantly surrounds our bodies leaves our bodies. And this is true, and I had to look this up separately because this is weird. We lose 6 ounces on the instance of death. Did you want to get into that? Because I know I asked you to look into it, and you actually read it out to me.
So there was this doctor that did this experiment one time. As a disclaimer, no other person has repeated this experiment, so this doctor's findings are the only ones we have.
Is this like one of those Nazi doctors?
No.
Okay.
Which actually I didn't do a deep enough dive. I think it was before. Yeah, it was before that even happened. So
Okay,
no, it
okay.
wasn't a Nazi doctor. Anyways, so this doctor, he put his dying patients on a scale. And when they passed, they lost 6 ounces, which
I've heard of this now.
Yeah. So he was the only one that has ever done this experiment, and it was a small experiment. I forget. There was only a handful of people he tried this on. So, but with his one account, his patients lost 6 ounces after they passed.
So it's like their soul is that
And
extra
that's
weight.
what this gets
That's
into.
what the theory
That's
is.
what
Their
it says,
souls
yeah.
were leaving their
It
bodies.
says, what is this 6 ounces? Perhaps it is energy leaving our body or
Which, if
our
energy
soul.
can be converted to mass, it has weight.
It all goes back to
So-
Slipknot.
Yeah.
This energy, the aura, or you may even call it your soul, is carrying the information of what we used to be. If it can do this, then why couldn't it also carry our intelligence? If it can carry our former intelligence of our previous life, then it should be able to interact with us intelligently. When we see this aura, we call it a ghost. If this ghost is able to interact with us, is aware of us, can touch us, can communicate with us, then this is an intelligent, or as some call, an interactive haunting.
Which I guess that would be the haunting that is in my parents' house, which it ebbs and flows with the severity. So, I mean, could it go? Can a poltergeist be an intelligent haunting?
That's a good question.
I mean, technically,
Yeah, because if it can move
it's-
things, it's
All right,
Which-
it just would be a bunch of them.
Whatever is haunting the house. I don't think it has moved anything, but it has made noise and it has touched us. So there's that.
You got everything.
Oh, I
over
thought
there.
something was like
Everything.
making a noise, but I think it's someone's base.
Yeah, it's the base of someone's
Yeah, I was
car.
like, oh my god, I hear like
The poltergeist is here. It's here.
You just talked about it, Kristen. Shut up.
Stop acknowledging it.
The
Yeah, we need
teenage
to stop talking
girl.
about it.
Donnie said its name 3 times earlier. It's Steve.
That's here.
Steve. It's like Beetlejuice.
And y'all just keep going.
It's behind y'all.
He's right there.
Say go was good with him.
Steve.
Some reasons that a ghost may be tied to a particular place or a person is because they could have died as a result of a traumatic event, murder, car accident, etc. Due to unfinished business, the spirit may have died suddenly and not realize that he or she has died. The living loved ones are so emotionally distraught that they can't let go. The spirit,
So the
it could be the
living
fault of someone else,
can tie down the dead.
according to this.
Oh no.
Don't die before your parents.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
let me
No
go.
wonder there's so many kid ghosts. We were saying it's because
the
parents can't let it go.
Aw.
We're solving mysteries.
We're solving
right here
it.
live
Interconnecting stories.
Man,
Reform
call us the
podcast.
Mystery Incorporated.
You gotta tune in to Terrorform podcast.
Heck
You
yeah.
got to. The spirit is emotionally connected to their loved ones. They cannot rest due to an injustice done to them, or they have fear of judgment on the other side.
Dude, poor ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that. We figured that out.
Feels like a release.
Yeah. So now we're gonna give you some
What?
some more advice on how to get rid of a ghost. Specifically, ghosts, they will spook you without notice, knock stuff on the ground, make your abode feel abnormal. Abode.
Abode.
What is an abode?
Your
Like your
humble
place
abode,
of
like your
living.
residence.
Oh, okay. Your abode.
The
That's
Bode.
like a Greek
Your
pronunciation.
Adobe.
That's probably why I said it. I work with freaking Adobe and stuff, you know, during my work. That's definitely why I said that. Number 1 suggestion is if you are not already at the location, avoid the location. Donnie.
If you're not already at the location.
It says
Don't go buying knowingly haunted houses.
that's what it's suggesting. If you're not a homeowner, there's still time.
to avoid a haunting.
Why would you want that?
To live a peaceful life.
Unless you want that 30-year mortgage to feel even longer, avoid putting stakes down in areas attractive to apparitions. Donnie. Like the living, ghosts are attracted to the water.
Yes, I've heard of that.
Yeah, I heard demons are too, and I hear a lot of stuff's attracted to water. Mm-hmm. Water's very powerful. Water is a great conductor of energy. So if water runs under your house, it's probably a very active house.
Which I've heard that
That's
one
the
before. People
activities.
like haunted houses like tend to have water running underneath.
Interesting.
What is that, like a aquifer or like a well or something? Is that
I'm
what
about
they
to say, there's going to be a lot of houses with water underneath them. Like, what's the depth? Like,
Yeah.
What are we talking here?
Like a
Really?
stream or something.
Like, what is the depth level for this energy connection?
All houses are haunted. The moral of the story. Your house is haunted. Get out now. A granite foundation is no safer. Different stones mean different things. Granite is a stone that retains energy. That also means to think twice about installing that granite countertop. I don't recommend that at all, this expert says.
Well, according to some people, it's radioactive,
What?
Really?
supposedly.
Interesting.
didn't know that.
I neither.
What's the other one?
I like granite.
Marble, maybe?
Marble.
No, it might be
Marble or
granite.
granite, those are both
It looks
common.
very nice.
Okay, so this says, while granite and other decorative stone can contain some trace natural radioactivity, granite countertops are not considered to be a key contributor to radiation in the average home. But then this one says, as indicated in the write-up, the average radiation exposure measurement from a granite slab was 20 U with the long side RH-1. So whatever.
What's it, a Geiger?
I guess so. 20 Geiger
I don't
H.
know.
That sounds like a Nazi doctor. The Geiger!
Oh my god.
But it says they may contain veins of naturally occurring radioactive elements like uranium, thorium, and their radioactive decay. ...
So it depends on where you source it from.
It depends which section you're getting, I guess, because some might be more than others.
But that with like anything.
Yeah.
Bananas.
Especially in California, everything will kill you, give you
Everything
cancer.
give you cancer
so-
by.
It's not that everything will kill you, so they don't feel like doing the research. So they just
So they
slap
just
the warning on everything that they make.
Yeah.
Everything's giving you cancer.
Another thing you can do to ward out ghost is to air it out. You might think leaving your doors or windows open may pose a security threat. And in a world where criminals and rodents exist, you'd be right. But the supernatural may feast on a shuttered lifestyle, says Bonnie Sauter.
They gonna like my house.
Oh, God.
No
Donnie gonna
window.
close it up.
Good Lord. Ghosts are attracted to negative emotions or negative feelings. So if you're keeping everything shut, not letting fresh air in or light, right there you are creating an environment that could attract negative energy. Bove says to trust your sixth sense over your first. If you felt someone walk in a room, you turn around and don't see anyone. But in reality, someone did walk in the room. Because your eyes didn't see it, you dismissed it. So again, it's all about keeping them positive vibes, y'all. It attaches to that negativity, that depression, that closed
That
up dark
rock music.
room, that rock
rock
music,
music.
that rock and roll. Listen to some good vibe music. All right. Another thing you could do, they say, is call a medium. Still unsure of whether your property has a poltergeist? Before you phone the Ghostbusters, summon a practicing ghost research group in your state. But be careful. Many are untrained fly-by-nighters influenced by sensational supernatural shows like Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures or Sci-Fi's Ghost Hunters, a.k.a. Terrorform Podcast.
Yeah. I swear these past 2 episodes, I'm obsessed with Ghost Adventures. I watch the Ghost Adventures. Look at me, I'm ghost hunting in garages.
Don't call us, man.
No.
We gonna make it worse.
Well, I mean, it's not like we're making a business out of it and going to people's homes
Yeah,
and
which
acting
is what
like
We're
Yeah.
just afflicting ourselves.
Yeah.
It's just ourselves, you know.
we're just trying to have like a rush.
If we go to haunted locations that no one lives in and stuff like that,
Or
it
if
should
they
be
just
fine.
want us to have content, they're not
Yeah.
looking to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, you can come over. It's
Yeah,
fine.
come piss it off. You're good.
Yeah.
Any reputable ghost hunter will not walk into their home and ask to be tossed around or have their hat knocked off.
Donnie.
We call that provoking. A lot of it has to do with intentions. With respect, those paranormal investigators inspect the homes using gadgets like modified cameras and electronic magnetic field meters. An investigation in the wrong hands can anger the spirits. We have to do a cleanup investigation, says South Jersey Ghost Research President Dave Juliano, whose group works for free. Some groups are a little over-eager for the experience of it, and they just want to get evidence.
They have a whole president?
Yeah. They kind of forget that sometimes there are people who live in those houses. So that's, again, like, if we go to places that aren't lived in. Because, like, yeah, if you go, like, anger the spirits, you're like, anyway, good night, y'all.
Yeah, y'all have fun now.
That's on them.
That's all good, boy. They called us.
Then to manifest my dark desire.
They signed our waiver.
Cleanse, cleanse, cleanse. Even after taking these measures, you might find a ghost roaming in your home. But fear not, you can expel that apparition. So-and-so and so-and-so. You'll see this article, so you'll see all the names. I consider it another type of house cleaning, she says with a laugh. A standard ghost cleansing involves white sage, sea salt, and a bell. Both Sauter and Bove say. Sauter, a former member of the South Jersey Paranormal Research Company, says to first open every door so you don't smoke yourself out, then sprinkle sea salt along each doorway. While holding a bowl of burning white sage, go clockwise in each room, all the way from the basement to the attic.
Wait, isn't that kind of counterintuitive?
Why is that?
You're opening the doors, but then you're sealing them off with salt. Because doesn't that act as a barrier?
Ooh, you know what?
Yeah.
True.
What if the ghost didn't get out in time?
Yeah, so you want to sage it and then salt it,
And then
right?
salt it.
Yeah, so it wouldn't come back in.
Terrorform podcast. We're better than the South Jersey Paranormal
Yeah.
Research Company.
We're cracking
What do you
down
guys
on
know?
you.
Yeah, what do you know?
Yeah, we're the Texas Paranormal Research.
Yeah. Gonna call us out. If you
Yeehaw.
like ghost adventures, you don't trust them.
Sounds like y'all don't know what y'all are doing.
Good catch, Donnie.
Yeah. I was like counterintuitive of like the direction of the salt.
Yeah.
I was like, no, don't you supposed to do it clockwise?
Go
You're
clockwise
gonna
in
be gas
each room.
chamber in that mug again, boy. You want me to leave, but I can't go.
I got asthma.
Go clockwise in each room all the way from the basement to the attic. And then show the ghost the exit. It sounds very simple, but with a respectful tone, you want to say, "This is my home. I don't want you here, and you have to leave." You don't say please because you're not asking them. You're telling them in a way that's not offensive. In her dozen or so house cleanings, Salter has somebody by her side. I have another person with me who rings a bell. The idea of the bell is to raise the vibrations, and then you would use sea salt, and what that does is absorb the negative energy. So maybe sea salt is different than a regular salt. Sea salt's to absorb energy, and regular salt's to
Oh, so maybe that's why it's okay to like salt the rooms with the
Yeah.
doors open because it's just gonna suck it up anyways.
yeah.
It's all just a load of crap.
The next thing you can do is brighten up. If you sense negative spirits, perhaps you ought to exercise your own negativity.
Don't listen to rock music.
A lot of times,
Well, maybe that's why I don't have so many encounters anymore, because I've been faking it till I'm making it. You know.
Trying to cultivate them positive vibes.
Yeah,
Good vibes only.
I've been pretending to be happy so long.
No, it's
like,
because you
happy.
got with me. Now you're all happy.
Aw,
Been faking
Aaron's
it
the
till
joy
I
of your
make
life.
it. I'm faking it till I make it.
But you fighting them demons all left and right with that positive attitude. A lot of times, negative energies are attracted to people who are depressed, and that's just the way it is. If that's the case, I recommend they do something with that. Oh, yeah, because it's that easy, Miss Salter.
It takes
is. You
years of
just-
hard work.
hard work of pretending you're happy, and you will be happy.
Then again,
Pretending.
An unhappy life may not lead to poltergeist. Oh, so we're all screwed. Salter adds that according to
Shamanism.
depression
Shaman.
is caused by the parasitic spirit attachment. They believe that spirit attachment comes first and then it attracts negative energy. It's almost like a snowball effect, which I kind of believe more than, vice versa. Like the other thing that they were saying, like, oh, just get happy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well, it could be a negative energy causing you to be depressed. And then that attracts more negative energy. And then you're just freaking living in a haunted house that you talk about on a podcast years later.
Dang.
If you burned the white sage and still feel spooked, herbs like mugwort and palo santo also have been known to have a cleansing effect. For extra protection against negative forces, work in some obsidian crystals or hematite rocks into your decor. Pretty much black crystals have protective power, she says. And finally, search your soul. Not all hauntings are negative or problematic. A pesky poltergeist might be simply a late relative looking to connect. Ghosts can make their peaceful presence known in many ways. Maybe they try the pipe smoke, and then they try footsteps. The person still doesn't pay attention.
Did you hear that?
Finally, no, what was it?
Sound like someone was talking.
Sound like, or I didn't do it well, but similar like that, right?
Y'all are kind of freaking me out a little bit because I was saying
I thought I heard someone like outside talking.
Maybe it was the neighbors.
Maybe.
I mean, our
On what
walls are pretty
side?
thin.
True.
the neighbors are like on the other
Yeah, I
side of the
thought I
house.
heard it like over here.
Maybe Jules was
I
wheezing.
thought I heard it. Well, no. I don't know. I can't do it.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, continue.
Maybe they try pipe smoke, then they try footsteps. The person still doesn't pay attention. And finally, they may throw a glass and be like, hey, explain this one away. All right. And then the last thing I was going to read was just because we're talking a lot about how to ward them off and the different types of hauntings. So here are 4 sounds that may mean you have a ghost. So these are things you can look for in your own house, listen for, and see if perhaps you have a ghost. So, number 1 is knocking.
Oh.
Which we have heard.
Oh gosh,
You scared me
again.
That one got me. That one got me because the whole breath
I
thing
saw
we
your
just
face.
heard. Edgar Allan Poe didn't focus on rapping his chamber door in The Raven for nothing. Knocking on the walls, front door, or windows of your home may mean you have a spirit on your hands. Some believe a knocking spirit is asking for entry into your home. Can I come in? Which would only lead to a more entrenched spiritual presence, while others suggest this type of entity just wants to get your attention. One particularly bone-chilling legend has it that 3 knocks in a row mean death.
Oh my god.
Which goes back to, like you said, some people say it's the mocking of the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
Because it's the 3 knocks. And then this could be a whole episode, the 3 knocks of death, because everyone has a different theory, but it's all agreed that if you hear 3 knocks,
It's bad
it's
news.
bad news.
Bad news.
Or like if you get scratched and there's 3 scratches.
If you're standing in a freaking garage and you hear Steve and then you hear, and then you try to say it's a car.
Boy getting spooked over here.
I did die recently.
Oh yeah, that's a whole episode too.
Oh my god.
We will get to
In
that.
a different
Stay
freaking universe.
tuned.
Stay tuned. Alternate universe is coming soon. Number 2, if you hear footsteps. If hearing knocking means a ghost wants in, hearing footsteps means they're already here.
Ooh.
And they
that
feel
house.
quite welcome. Ooh, that house y'all looked at that Donnie wants to buy.
Footsteps.
Yeah, it's a lot of
We
footsteps.
hear a lot of footsteps in my parents' house.
There are a few theories as to why you'd hear footsteps during a haunting. The entity in question might just be passing through, as noted by Amanda Lynette Meter in her book Transitions. They could be nosily taking a look around the house. You may have woken something up while renovating your home. Luckily, none of the prevailing internet theories around ghostly footsteps suggest that spirits that make themselves known this way mean any harm. More often than not, the sound of pacing imply a residual haunting in which a ghost is caught in a sort of a loop, reenacting a single scene from their life.
Hopefully that's
Or
it.
it's
That's
just
probably-
a recording and not the spirit itself.
That's probably what is at my house then, because it was like always the boots walking through the hallway, like
They
through
just
the living
stop.
room.
Maybe
It's
he
probably him
only
going
has
to
one
work or
pair.
something.
Yeah. That's good. Another thing that you could look out for in your own house to see if you have a ghost is hearing voices.
Ugh.
Anyone who's familiar with EVPs or electronic voice phenomenon recordings will tell you that any ghost hunter can pick up sounds of spirits talking with the right recording equipment. But there's something far more immediate and frightening when you hear a ghostly voice with your own ears. According to Stacey Graham's Haunted Stuff book, this type of sound is evidence of an intelligent haunting, one that's easier to interact with should you feel comfortable and safe doing so. If you believe that this entity is speaking to you, rather than repeating something it said in life, and yet another example of a residual haunting, then you should listen to it. The sort of spirit who chooses to
Haven't
call...
heard that before. I would just ignore it from like religious leaders
If it's
and my
evil,
parents.
if it's like, I'm going to freaking kill you tonight. Sleep with one eye open. The sort of spirit who chooses to call out to the living usually has a message they wish to share. So just see what they want to say. Something
Maybe
nice.
it's their unfinished business.
A warning.
So they can
Yeah,
move on.
I want to move on. But if it's something bad, definitely ignore them. In number 4, this is the final sign. Moving objects. Maybe it sounds like glass is clinking. Maybe you convince yourself someone's rearranging the entire second floor. The sound
God.
of... Who is that?
Dylan.
Oh, okay. I was like, dispatch. Oh.
Yeah. I was about to rush through this last thing. Like, we got this. The sound of moving the sound of moving objects when you're sure that a living person isn't doing the moving can be one of the clearest signs that you have a paranormal presence, particularly a poltergeist, in your home. These entities have a flair for mischief, like Donnie does, and have even been said to move physical objects on their own. If you aren't careful, they can end up causing some serious damage. That said, if you can see the signs of a spirit, mists or orbs, for example, you probably aren't dealing with the poltergeist because they like to be completely unseen, hence why they're just an orb.
So what about demons?
That concludes this episode.
That's a separate type of haunting.
Yeah, but would they show up as orbs?
They would show up
No.
as whatever they want to show up as,
Yeah,
such as
because they're shapeshifters.
Yeah.
E equals MC squared, bro.
You don't
Probably
remember
have
them
enough
So
power.
discussing that
Steve
part?
isn't a poltergeist or a demon.
We're not sure yet.
But we had orbs in the garage.
So that could mean that it's
Regular
a
haunting.
Yeah, it's a ghost that doesn't want to be
When-
seen. They don't
yeah,
want to hurt anybody. They're just
an
out there
intelligent-
floating around.
Spirit.
Yeah,
It's just there.
yeah, they're chilling.
Yup.
They chilling.
I mean, you did say you zoned out, so you can't
Yeah,
speak.
yeah. We've been going for a while, but
A
did you want to get
long
into
time.
your OHO or did you want to save it or what? It's up to you.
I
Because
guess we could,
some of this gonna get cut. So
I don't know, maybe we could save it for... We have a lot of content in this episode, so we can maybe save it for a lighter one.
stay tuned for the OHO.
Oh.
Stay tuned for the OHO.
Oh.
Stay tuned for the OHO.
It keeps getting lighter.
He said,
Johnny, you know what I'm talking about, huh?
I've heard
The
of
eyes?
it, yeah.
All right, yeah. All right.
Your mom
The evil
is
eye.
the one who would bring it up, I think.
Okay.
And what reminded you about it from this episode, though, just for a little teaser?
Well, because 1, how to ward off spirits, and 2, when your friend was responding to you about warding off spirits, he called it negative energy, which could be attributed to the Oho as a negative energy.
Yeah, that's thank God.
Interesting. Nice. So stay tuned for the Yoho episode here, since we ran a little long in this one. Anyone else have anything they want to add?
No, I'm good. I think.
Make sure to subscribe, hit that bell,
Smash that
Smash that like button for us.
Share your stories.
Share your stories.
Send us your
Send them
drawings.
Send your drawings in. We have an Instagram. We'll feature it on. Tag you if you want.
We'll tag you if you want.
That's Terrorform Podcast on Instagram, Terrorform Podcast YouTube, as well as Facebook. Look us up. Give us a like. Give us a
Spotify,
follow.
Apple.
We're on all the
that.
major streaming platforms.
But for
Stitcher,
sure, send us an email
Send
at
us an email at
terrorformpodcast@gmail.com. Send us your stories in, because we need content.
Stories,
Yes.
you can type them out, send them as audio files, record yourself on video.
Please send it in.
Send them in.
Send it in. We are interested. We are ready.
Leave a comment on the YouTube, on the Facebook.
Leave a comment. If we have time, we react to those comments.
Didn't have time today.
Didn't have time today because it was a fun episode. We had lots to cover, and sometimes that's how it is. And it's mainly because... Oh, by the way, happy Easter, everyone. I hope y'all's Easter was nice. That was a few days ago if you're watching this right now. Hope y'all had a great Easter.
We're
and
time travelers.
we had
Pagan.
some time, which is why this episode was able to be longer, because a lot of times we don't have a lot of time to really dive into the subject, but this time we did, because we have some time off of work. Good Friday and
About
Easter
time.
and all that. So, heck yeah. Well, guys, we hope that you stay spooky and all that.
Stay spooky.
Stay
Deuce.
Those?
Bye.
Oh, you're gonna have to cut my face out.
Bye.
I try to look possessed. Probably look stupid.
Oh, it's staying in.
You're gonna zoom in on it while y'all are
Making the final cut.